Hello and welcome to the United Stand. Manchester United have won 2-0 against Zorya Luhansk, or whatever they're called. But first of all, Mkhitaryan reigns in the Ukraine. Absolutely superb. Justice, whatever anybody wants to call it. But a brilliant, brilliant finish by him. And one that will make many of us feel so very happy, because we weren't sure. It was only a few short weeks ago that we thought maybe he's not going to make it at Manchester United. Maybe this talent that was probably the best player in European football last year, so many assists, so many goals, wasn't going to fulfil that excitement and talent at Manchester United because of who knows why, what went wrong. But however it's been dealt with, Mourinho deserves massive credit, as does the player, for fighting back from some sort of odd obscurity to what we've seen in the last few games, topped off perfectly today with a goal from nothing where he picks it up on the halfway line. He's running. He seemed to be, running, sprinting out on his left, but he's running with the ball and almost going past him. Skips past the player, puts it in the bottom corner. Probably my favourite goal of the season for Manchester United so far, and very, very important, because I think if Mourinho had any doubts about Mkhitaryan, and he shouldn't do over the last few weeks, he has shown with that goal just what he can do out of absolutely nothing. We've not got many players in our squad, let alone the first team, who can just produce something out of nothing, and that will have not done him, us, United, any harm, because that will have been noticed by every other team in the Premier League and in Europe as to what that player can do and what a threat he does. And when you've got a player like that, it opens up space for other players. When you've got a player who individually can hurt you by skipping past players like that, they're a rarity in the modern game, and he's an absolutely brilliant performance, and that gets man of the match for me, because I think it was an absolutely superb goal. There are a few negatives I want to talk about, as always. There should be. There should always be grounds for improvement. But going through the team very quickly, Romero did make a couple of good saves, had an okay game. Ashley Young, I thought, waste of time. I wasn't happy with that at the start of the game. I thought Fosu Mensah should have started. We should be promoting youth talent like that over somebody who's in the past. Ashley Young's the past. I think he was played today because we were meant to use the width and get crosses into the box. He didn't. He didn't do what his job was there to do. I thought it was an average to poor performance from Ashley Young. Bailly, massive positive with Mkhitaryan. At the moment, he's our signing of the summer out of 4 very good signings. He's our signing of the summer. I think Mkhitaryan in a few weeks will probably surpass him, but Bailly has been brilliant. He was great today. It just shows what a good top-class centre-back is with Bailly, because I think Rojo and Jones, some people think they've done okay, some people think they've done really well, but I think what was abundantly clear today was that when Bailly's come back, and you can see the difference between Bailly and Rojo and Jones, I mean, he's just on another level, and we need another Bailly, really. It's a shame we're going to lose him in a few short weeks for a month, because when we've got him, we look a lot more solid. He's just so dominating, especially in the air, which is where we miss it. Rojo, okay game. Daley Blind, sound at left back. It's his best position. I've got no concerns with him. In fact, he should be playing there over Darmian if we're not going to use Shaw. Midfield, Herrera, man of the match in the first half. Very, very good in that position. And I'm just glad that we're using him there when Carrick's not used, instead of that Tree, which I'll come on to in a bit. Pogba struggled a bit, but kept going and got the assist in the end. Again, showed bits of brilliance. Again, showed bits of desperation, shooting from 40 yards a couple of times. But I'm happy with Pogba. I am happy with him. Rooney, a bit of a shame for Rooney. I thought, I don't know, we'll come back to Rooney being sub, but I thought Rooney played poor today. Not in a, I'm going to roast Rooney or get on Rooney's back or anything like that. I just think he played quite well against Fenerbahce when we beat him 4-0. He played well against West Ham, although granted it was a weakened West Ham. Couldn't play on Sunday because he was suspended. And he looks like he's missed more than a week. He looks like he's missed 3 weeks again because he looked rusty. We all know with Rooney that, and Sir Alex said it in his book, as Ross was saying on the watch-along, that Rooney's problem is if he's not playing every game, it takes him a few weeks to get back up to it again. And it just shows as he gets older, even a week can knock him back a bit, because his touch looked bad, his passing looked bad, he looked a bit off the pace, and that's only after a week. So all those people who were saying Rooney's back, what I said a week ago was it was a good performance, but we need to see him do that for the next 10 games, considering we've seen him play pretty badly for the last 2 years. Today he was back. I mean, it wasn't as bad as Watford, but it was back to that mediocre Rooney. Zlatan got a goal again. Whatever anybody says, Zlatan is a goal every other game player. He scores a lot of goals. Not his best performance again. I still don't think we've seen the best out of him. He scored a goal. He's a threat. I'd like to see him getting on the end of crosses more. I'd like to see us putting crosses in the box, because at 6'5", we're missing a trick there. Mata, okay. I think Mata, Herrera and Mkhitaryan in the first half were the bright sparks, because people were moaning about the pitch, but they were moving the ball around really well. And Mkhitaryan, Man of the match. What a performance it was from him. Absolutely superb. I think the problem we had in the first half, and we shouldn't move away from this because Mkhitaryan's goal was out of nothing and Zlatan's goal was because Zorya were pushing forward. We weren't creating chances in the first half. Just like Everton, we didn't create that many chances. Problem for me was the number 10s. Rooney had a poor game today and Pogba had a poor game on Sunday in relation to creating chances. If your number 10 is not creating chances, we're not going to create chances as a team. I think he needs to play Mata or Mkhitaryan at number 10 and we will create more chances. We seem to be able to do it at home, but away from home. And also Zlatan and Rooney were just getting in the same, it was like one player instead of two. They were getting in the same spaces and, it was like playing with 10 men effectively. But I'm not nitpicking. That's what went wrong in the first half. Second half, we win the game. Little bit disappointed that we come second in the group. It was out of our hands anyway. Fenerbahce won in Feyenoord. But what it means is we'll get a slightly tougher draw. But the more important thing is it'll mean that the second leg is away instead of being at home because we've come second in our group. So that's for February. We can park the Europa League now and hopefully we can get some league form going on. Because what I would like us to see us do is when it comes to February, when the Europa League kicks in, let's see where we are in the league. Because if we are 10 points off fourth, park the league, go all out for the Europa League. If we're within 5 points of fourth, I still would treat the Europa League with not so much effort and focus on the Premier League. We can't do both. I think as we review it now with the Europa League done, we cannot do what we've done over the last few months, which is try and do both. Because we've come second in a group we should have come top of in the Europa League, and we're miles off in the league because we've tried to pick the same. We've been picking our better players in both, and we've got a big enough squad that we should have been having a team for the Europa League and a team for the Premier League. And by a team for the Premier League, I mean that's Zlatan and Pogba, and by a team for the Europa League, I mean that should have been Rooney and Rashford. And I think that's where we've missed the trick. Well, I want to touch on a slight negative. I wasn't happy about Fosu Mensah not starting over Young. I've done that to death. Watched the first 20 minutes of the watch along. It's a rant. I apologise in the watch along, but I was very angry at the time. But Fosu Mensah came on for 3 minutes and had 3 minutes better than Ashley Young's 93 minutes. It wasn't a surprise to me. He needs to be involved more. And Mourinho, I back him. I think we will win the league in 2 years. I'm fed up of saying it, but he is making some odd decisions. It was a brilliant comment in the watch along. It was something like, Mourinho is the right man. I back him, but he is making his job harder with some of the decisions he's making, and he doesn't need to make them. He needs to use Fosu Mensah more. He needs to use Rashford as a striker and not a winger. But what I would throw to you, and what really annoyed me today, and I cannot understand it, and it's not the way Mourinho should be going, and it's not the way Manchester United should be going. How on earth does Fellaini get on the pitch today? 4 days after costing us 3 points at Everton, 85 minutes, that team does really well. He brings that circus act on, and he gives a penalty away within 2 minutes. And then today, he shouldn't even be part of the squad. He should not even be part of the squad. He should be punished for what he did on Sunday. And instead, we see him on the pitch again. And within 2 minutes of him coming on, crosses are coming in the box into his area, and he's nowhere near them because it's a myth. I think my concern is Mourinho is a stubborn man, and he's going to force feed Fellaini down our throats to try and prove himself right. And it will undermine his career as a Manchester United manager, because the more he uses this man, the more points we will lose out on. We will not win a league title with Fellaini part of this team, and I'm terrified that he's going to keep using him and he's going to give him a new contract. A lot of United fans said we will never see Fellaini in a shirt after Sunday because Mourinho will not be happy. 4 days later, he's on the bench and he's giving him half an hour in a game. It's baffling. I don't like it. I don't enjoy Manchester United when I see him on the pitch. I just don't like him as a footballer. And I don't know whether that's just me, whether I'm overreacting. I don't care. I've said it for 3 years. I don't rate Fellaini. He's not good in the air. But I think the big problem is, and I said it in the watch along as well, the last few managers we've had, and the last two we've had are rubbish, but he is the right man. But unfortunately, they've all got the same defect in their head. It's like a chip, that they are obsessed with height. That height is so important. I mean, the laughable thing is, the hypocrisy, is that Fellaini's not good in the air. Joe Allen's beat him in the air. He's not very good in the air. He's just tall and cumbersome. And but what I don't understand why we're obsessed with height. When has height ever been that important? The 99 team, the attackers wise, we weren't high, we weren't tall. York and Cole and Beckham and Giggs and Scholes and Keane, none of them were tall. If you're a centre-back, that's fine, but none of those were tall. The great Barcelona team, none of them were tall. Why are we obsessed with having a tall player in it? If Fellaini was 5'8", he'd be a postman, he wouldn't be a footballer. You know, his whole game is about his height, even though he's not very good in the air, like I said. I'm just absolutely fed up of it. And people say you shouldn't be tweeting stuff out, get Fellaini out of our club, but I think it's beyond a joke now. Absolutely beyond a joke. I mean, I don't think Schneidlin's done enough, but God Almighty, Schneidlin, you know what must he think? You know, not even part of the Europa squad. You're watching the game on Sunday. You see Fellaini on the bench anyway, who shouldn't be on there ahead of you. He makes an absolute master mistake and costs the team. You think, I'm surely going to be playing in the Europa League or in part of the squad. No, you're left out. You're not even coming to the Ukraine. You're left out. I'm taking Fellaini. It's just all kinds of wrong. I don't care what, you know, people will throw back, oh, you know, you're not there. He must be great in training. Does it really matter what he does in training? We've seen what he's done in 90 minutes for the last 3 years, and it's not good. So it doesn't matter what he does in training. It's not good on the pitch. I just watch him when, like today, 2 minutes, you know, whatever. Whenever he's got the ball, it looks like he just looks wrong. Whenever crosses are coming into the box, he should be going and winning it. He's nowhere near it. He's just not a United player, and that concerns me. That's my concern from today, is that Fellaini seems to be getting always part of the matchday squad. I bet he'll be on the bench on Sunday, and that's a place that Schweinsteiger could have. You know, Fosu Mensah probably won't make the bench on Sunday. There are better players than him. You know, if we had nobody else, fair enough. I don't like this obsession he's got with Fellaini, and it concerns me. And all I'm saying is watch this space. But most importantly, watch that Mkhitaryan goal as many times as you can, because it was an absolutely fantastic finish. And I think that's the big positive from today, is the fact that he's shown over the last few weeks how good he can be for us. But tonight he showed that he is the main man, and he has to play every game. He's got to be the main. You know, Mourinho doesn't want to sub or drop Zlatan or Pogba. Let him live with that. I don't agree with it, but let him live with that. But if Mkhitaryan's now part of that category, I can live with it, because he's got to play every game. And if he does play every game, I think United are going to go places. And I've said it before tonight, we'll beat Spurs on Sunday. As long as we don't shoot ourselves in the foot, Spurs aren't coming to Old Trafford on Sunday and winning. That's not going to happen. It's about whether we make the same mistakes we've made and whether we hand them a point. We will win that game. And hopefully then, Crystal Palace away next Wednesday night, West Brom on the weekend, and then we're into the Christmas period, aren't we? So we can hopefully get 9 points and focus on the league a bit more now. But just in case you didn't realise, January the 7th, we're playing Reading in the FA Cup. It's a Saturday. It's a 12:30 kickoff. You might have missed that. But thanks everybody for watching. Drop a like on the video. Get commenting below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And tomorrow night, 8:30 on Friday, it will be 8:30. We've got a live Spurs preview show. So we're live pretty much at 8:30 every night. Just subscribe to the channel. You'll get notifications when we go live if you do the little bell thing as well. But very, very pleased for Mkhitaryan. Very, very confused about Fellaini. I had to bring it up. I am very confused about it. I don't get it. And more importantly, I feel sad for Mourinho, because I think, you know what? If he keeps stubbornly using him, he's going to mess up what could be a very, very good career at Manchester United for him. But thanks everyone for watching. Speak to you all very soon. And United through in the Europa League.